Good evening. This is the Elliott wave update for the S&P 500 for Tuesday, June 28th, 2022. The very interesting turn of events today where the markets appeared like they wanted to continue to rally, which would be for the S&P to get above that 36.48-49 level, which it did, but not by a whole lot. And then we saw a pretty strong reversal come in today. If we look at the daily chart, we can see that the market did just kind of like attempt to get up there, got up actually to that 50 level, right on the nose, and then failed in a big way. So what does that tell us and what is really going on? Let's take a look starting here on the daily chart. On the daily chart, I continue to run both counts parallel with one another. What I'm showing right now is if we are in an intermediate degree 5-wave decline, and that would be that waves 1 and 2 are in, we're in that intermediate third wave. And within that, this possibly could be the completion point for minor wave 1 of intermediate 3, which leaves a lot to come to the downside. But that would also include that we're within a minor wave 2 counter trend bounce. And that counter trend bounce does still have upside potential. And as you'll notice, I have put an ABC here, but that's on a sub-minute level. What is above that, I have not labeled because the market needs to tell us from this point as to what this is going to end up being. So I'm going to drop down and let's review the upside. And then I'll go right into the downside and we'll get both looks and we'll see what the market may have in store for us tomorrow. I believe we'll get our answers tomorrow. Let me say that. Okay, so the market today did attempt to rally. Initially, put in a nice little opening green bar and got itself up to 39.50 before. That was rejected and the market just began to head lower. So what did all of this turn out to be? Yes, it made a slight new high over what we did yesterday, but I'm putting the top here. And I'll tell you again, and I sometimes I'll do that because of the difference in the closes. And it makes it much cleaner to see that that was a completion point for an ABC. Here we have another 3 waves thus far. So it could be a 1, a 2, maybe the start of a 3, etc., or an A, a B, and a C, and then we put another, like this would be wave A, this could be wave B. That pertains to that upside count. If indeed the market is going to turn its tail and begin to head higher again, I have to tell you that it needs to do it, and it needs to do it very quickly, break back above these moving averages. More importantly, get itself back above the 50 and the 20, to put you much together right here at between 38.80 and 38.84, but it needs to get above there without stopping it. We're not going to have a cup of coffee. We're just going. And so the buyers have to overtake the market the way the sellers did today. And can they do that? Sure. Why? Pick a reason. The fact is it does remain out there and the markets are capable of doing it. So we'll leave that up to the market to let us know. But that's what I would be looking for to give me confirmation that buyers are back, buy side's back on, and we now stand a shot at getting above 39.50 and back up towards 4,000. That's the upside look. Right now, does it stack up that it could happen? 50-50 probability. So again, I would be remiss to say that it was anything less, because that's like saying that I know what all these guys got lined up for tomorrow, what's coming in the back door, and what reallocators are needing to do, et cetera, et cetera. Plus, we start tomorrow's Wednesday, then we got Thursday, Friday. We're back at expiration once again, in front of a holiday weekend, by the way. Another one, God bless them. Okay, so the upside is there. And to start to identify it, that's what I need to see. I want it to move, and it needs to move with strength and not get held up, turn around, come down. It needs 2, 3, 4 bars of strength. Otherwise, I believe sellers will come in and take over. Now, downside, I cannot say that this is not the completion point for minor wave 2. And again, it comes in very weak. Now, we've been at this juncture before, pretty much in a similar spot where we put in a fairly solid rally and we're looking for the downside to kick in and go up and go again. And we get it going and it stops and a dime turns and it just resumes the next leg up. That is where the market has left us right now. Exactly there. This is 3 waves. If left here and the market starts to turn, it's left as 3. So we've already come down below the EMA, and that was at 38.39, 38.40, and a little bit below some, which could be support, but doesn't necessarily mean anything. So the next one on the line, if we continue to go down, because we closed underneath that EMA, is to come down to the SMA. And this is the new addition that I've placed on our charts, is that this is the 200 simple moving average, the SMA, and that's at 37.82. So continued downside, yep, we got a little bit of price support, same place. So we don't have a whole lot in between. See, stop at price support. And then so next price support is down right where this 200 SMA is. So that would be the next step. A renewal of a downside. They come in and they continue to pound lower. That's where it should end up. Excuse me. We'll be down here. Now, what would that then tell us is that we're likely going to see the completion point for a minor wave 2, and that we're going to drop very precipitously, and we should, again, price support 3,700. That's where we've had it before. That's where we'll find it again. Ultimately, though, it may stop and pause there, but what we'd really be looking for is a continuation to take us down below 36.39. That would give stronger support to that drop, to that next zone, which is 3,500 down to about 34.88-ish. And that then puts us in line to have the possibility of being completed in terms of that other view that runs in parallel. And that would be that it's an intermediate A, B, and this is the completion point for intermediate C wave, but then it changes a few things before, but it's there and it can happen. But I would be looking for support at that zone. A break there, and we're headed much lower, much lower. We're heading down towards 32.25. We're heading to below 3,000. And again, can the market do it? It absolutely can, folks. It absolutely can. It just depends on what comes in to start to kick it down. So at this point, I don't know. But again, I would be remiss if I didn't show the reality of what's sitting out there and possibly to happen according to the technical picture of where the market is. What's going to contribute to that technical picture is a little bit of everything we're already looking at, confronting. So there we have it. We have an upside and a downside. Downside should have a lot more freedom to roam about the cabin. And this is the cabin. To roam about the country, and this is the country. It's like getting out and just going and stretching your legs and seeing what's up. Upside, I just truly feel that it'll be more difficult because there are more things lining up to take the market lower than there are to take the market higher. So again, tomorrow's GDP that comes in before the opening, that likely is going to set the tone. If GDP is like, wow, love it, shows a lot of progress, we're doing great, this whole inflation thing, bupkis, no problem, off to the races. And that would be reflected in the prices. That's why we have the upside view. But if it doesn't, and it comes in and it continues to show that we're doing a little bit more of a downward slope, then I would assume that the sellers will be back, will take over. And again, I don't know how Asia is going to respond once Globex opens here in a minute, or how Europe will respond once Europe opens in another bit of time. So I'm going to leave it right there. We have both sides, upside, downside, trade using the moving averages, trade the price action, trade without bias. Don't be bullish, don't be bearish, and here we go. So they're opening them up a very little bit, nothing too much to shake a stick at. I imagine they're going to sit there and wait for further directions. And our next update will be on Wednesday, the 29th.